Hi everybody, thank you for joining us today. So my name's Shemaine, I'm Head of Youth Engagement for LTSB. So LTSB is a social mobility charity. We work with young people to help them into meaningful careers in Manchester and a lot of other locations across the UK and beyond. So I have with me today 3 of our alumni who have been through our pre-apprenticeship programme, and I'm going to do a bit of a Q&A with them today. So you're not just going to hear from me, you're actually going to hear from them about their experience and their journey with us, to get a bit of a feel for what we do as an organisation and how we help young people. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Mikal. I'm on the Data Apprenticeship.
Hi, my name's Tyler. I'm on the Software Engineering Apprenticeship.
Hi, my name's Dan and I'm on the Digital UX Apprenticeship.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to ask Dan, because I think you're our longest standing alumni here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and what were you doing before you discovered LTSB?
Yeah, so I had quite a complicated journey before I went on my apprenticeship. I did 3 years of chemistry at Manchester and then decided that I just really hated uni and then dropped out. Spent another 2 years of my life bartending and then decided I didn't want to bartend for the rest of my life, so spent ages looking around every single website, applied for every single apprenticeship going, and then found LTSB and thought that's something I'd kind of see myself doing. I quite like computers. So applied, got accepted. I was quite surprised because I thought, having gone to university already, they would have been kind of dismissive of me, but no, I got on, went through the bootcamp they run. It's really, really engaging, and I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did, but it was the skills I'd learned through that 3 weeks were incredible, really. And then got onto my apprenticeship almost 2 years ago, and now I've loved it ever since. It's been pretty much life changing. So yeah, it's been a bit of a long one, but yeah, lovely.
Thank you. Okay, Mikal, how did you find school and college, and did you feel that it prepared you enough for the world of work because of what you're doing now?
School and college, I actually quite enjoyed. I was pretty good at it. I enjoyed the academia up to a certain point. High school was great. I loved going to lesson. I liked having things to do. And I enjoyed most of the subjects. But once college came around, I figured out it wasn't exactly for me. I didn't like it that much. Nothing wrong with the subjects themselves. It was mostly the sort of stringent requirements and having to tick boxes in your essays just to get the marks, even though it's not exactly the stuff you wanted to talk about. So, I think it can be useful. It certainly has been useful. A lot of the skills that I've been taught during high school and in college while I was there have been great for me, particularly time management, timetabling, that sort of stuff, just to be able to keep on top of things at work. But there is also elements of things that are missing in terms of what I did find useful for work.
Thank you, Mikal. And Tyler, so how did you come to the decision of an apprenticeship over university?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me this one. I actually went to university. So I did school, college, and then I went to university straight after. I went to uni for photography, so I got my photography degree, and it's tough to make a living in the arts, and I've always had sort of an interest in computers. So once I left, I bounced around some odd jobs and just started teaching myself how to code. And once I kind of had some knowledge under my belt, I just started applying for apprenticeships, and that's when I found LTSB, and then here we are now. It's kind of crazy.
Thank you. Cool. Okay. Dan, just for everybody in the audience, do you want to explain the LTSB programme in a little bit more detail? So, what did you actually get up to on the LTSB programme?
It's been quite a while, but so I was working full time whilst doing it, but fortunately my hours kind of worked well because I used to work nights, so I could do the boot camp through the day kind of thing. But it was kind of, they set us group tasks where we'd focus on different business opportunities and problems that could arise within the workplace, and then kind of split us off into groups and work through them. And then on top of that, we'd have like interview prep and questions you should and shouldn't ask, and ethics and morals. It was surprisingly engaging. I didn't think it would be, but yeah, I did really enjoy it.
Mikhail, same question to you.
Same question to me.
Yeah, what did you do on the LTSB program? What's your favourite part?
Well, the program I did was pretty similar to the one that you went through in terms of having ethics, morals, do's and don'ts of interviews, email etiquette, and that sort of stuff to prepare you for living and working in a corporate environment. And honestly, for me, the most enjoyable part was definitely the morning icebreakers, getting to know everyone, getting to talk to everyone. A lot of us from the bootcamp are still really close to each other, even this 9 months on. We don't see each other in real life because obviously we all work in different departments. But we still keep in touch, mainly because we got to build such a strong bond with each other every morning. And getting to see everyone was definitely the best part of it.
And bear in mind, these guys had to do it over Zoom because it was pandemic. So to say that they've still got a good bond with the people that they did the Zoom calls with is pretty good. Okay, Tyler, what kind of support did you get from LTSB during the bootcamp and obviously starting your career as well, so into your job?
Yeah, so I received a lot of support from LTSB, especially from my career management development person. She was just always there to encourage me and just sort of reinforce that belief in myself. Really, it's something that I was lacking a lot of confidence coming into it, and even through leaving the boot camp, finding the place at NatWest, and even in my first sort of few weeks, she was always there, always sort of messaging me, how's it going, like, do you need any help? And even up to now, we still have conversations, and there's still the support there, even now, which is really great.
So with the LTSB program, so what we do is we do boot camps at different times throughout the year, which prepare you guys, young people, for the world of work. So they range from between 3 weeks long to 12 weeks long. Some are full-time, some are part-time. At the end of it, there will be interviews for apprenticeships that we as a charity will organise and help you get. So we have big partnerships, so all three of our young people here, we have a massive partnership with NatWest, and all three of these young people now have gone through our bootcamp and are working at NatWest now in apprenticeships. They're full-time positions, so they're not just an 18-month contract, and they're doing amazingly as far as I'm aware. They're doing, yeah, good, cool. But we do different apprenticeships as well. So we do digital and data, financial customer service, digital marketing, law, and business and finance. So a lot of different kind of variety of sectors that we do in Manchester as well, and like I said, other locations. So yeah, these guys did a 3-week boot camp, and one of the things that we really kind of push out there is that we don't just get you an apprenticeship and it's see you later, have a good life. It is that we support you, because we can understand the transition from being in full-time education to going straight into work can be pretty daunting, pretty hard. So just like these guys have said, we do offer 12-month support when you start. You'll have a dedicated careers development manager who you'll have gone through the boot camp with more or so, and you'll also have built that rapport with them, and then they'll be there for you. If anything comes up, we also do line manager training to train them to get an apprentice as well, because they need that support just as much as our young people do. So yeah, just to give a bit of context around that, it's the apprenticeships that we offer, but we also offer the support as well for young people in that. So kind of looking at apprenticeships and your working lives now, what does a typical day, Dan, you've been there the longest, I'll say, what does a typical day or week look like in your apprenticeship?
It's quite weird at the moment. I'm in between projects, but usually when you're on a project, you have daily stand-ups, so 9 o'clock every morning, you'll sit there with the entire project team, talk about what you did last week, and then what you plan on doing during the week, or day by day even. And a lot of my stuff is based around the public web pages, so me and my line manager do a lot of redesign of public web pages that people have complained about or just don't work. So that's pretty much what I do day in, day out really, but it sounds very mundane and a bit boring, and sometimes it is, but it's fun because it changes all the time, and then new design theory comes out and design principles change and stuff, so it is. I'm not really doing the best job of selling it, but it is really good.
Pastor Tyler, so how do you balance work and study?
Yeah, balancing work and study. We just kind of had a sit down and just sort of decided how much time we should dedicate for each one. With apprenticeships, it's a required 20% off the job. So we sat down and we said, this is your apprenticeship day. Don't worry about anything at work. Don't worry about going to the stand-ups. Just take the day, take what you need, go and complete your coursework. And that's been really useful to staying on top of it. They were also kind enough to give me another half day to just go and learn whatever I want. So anything sort of related to my field, just go and do like a Udemy course or something like that. And it's been so easy to just balance the two, just from that lack of, there's no pressure to really go, you just go at your own pace really.
And Mikhail, what does a typical day week look like in your apprenticeship?
So very similar to what was said at the start, we work through an agile methodology. We have scrum meetings every day. Mine are at 10 rather than 9, a bit later on. So I get to wake up a little bit later. Yeah, so we have these stand-ups daily just to catch up on our progress, what we've been up to during the week, any sort of blockers we may have. And then I get on with the work. I have a lot of Zoom meetings. A lot of Zoom meetings talk about changing, designs, requirements, what people want from the projects. I spend a lot of time trying to look at the work of my colleagues to try to sort of reverse engineer the things they did, just because I prefer learning by hand rather than watching a YouTube video on something, so I'd rather pick up an Excel spreadsheet that they made and try to figure out how they did it by looking at it and deconstructing it. Yeah, a lot of it is just spent on your own, in front of spreadsheets, looking at the numbers, making nice pretty graphs, making nice pretty reports on Power BI. But yeah, it's nice and varied. Usually it is just spreadsheets. It's pretty exciting for me, maybe not for everyone, but I quite like the numbers.
Thank you.
So LTSB's aim is to help young people into meaningful careers. So thinking about that word meaningful, you guys, what does a meaningful career mean to you? And I'm going to ask Dan, Tyler and Mikhail.
I think for me it was just a career that I enjoyed doing and could see myself doing and progressing kind of infinitely really. It never really ends, and I think the minute that I stop enjoying my job, then it's time to look for something new. So having worked at NatWest now for almost 2 years, I don't really see myself quitting anytime soon or going somewhere else, because I'm still enjoying it, I'm still progressing and still learning, so yeah.
Yeah, just echoing that really. Just being able to wake up in the morning and not be like, oh man, I gotta go to work. It's like, oh yeah, I can go to work and I can keep progressing what I'm doing, and just waking up and having something that you're looking forward to and that you enjoy doing. It's yeah, it's kind of nothing. I haven't really experienced that before. Just working odd jobs in bars and shops. But yeah, just being able to wake up and think, being excited about the next thing that you're going to do.
And I've got to echo this again, being happy in your job is the most important part. And what makes me happy in a job is being able to see the impact of my work on everyone else. I like being able to see everyone else's lives be easier at work, just thanks to the projects I've worked on, thanks to the software I've developed, thanks to the spreadsheets and calculations I've run. I like being able to see 6 months on that my calculations from earlier in the year have had a very good positive impact, and the practice is running better as a result of it.
And how has an apprenticeship changed your life? And let's think about this in a practical way and potentially a financial way, just for the people here that obviously money, cost of living, everything, pay well, we're all thinking it hopefully will come to that for young people that are starting apprenticeships. We work with living wage employers, so we don't accept apprenticeships that are your £4 something an hour. Not feasible for anyone that's young that wants to get on that ladder of anything, life ladder, property ladder, anything like that. So financially, and I already know from speaking to some of these young people that it's been able to kind of help them just getting that apprenticeship and starting their lives. So how has an apprenticeship changed your life, Dan? How was it able to help?
It's quite hard to talk about a job and then not mention the financial side of it, because as much as people say I want to work in a job that I enjoy, the money side really does help, and to ignore that, you can't really. But yeah, so starting at West, I think after 2 months of working there, I moved out because I was living at home, and I went from living at uni for 3 years, moving back with mum and dad, to then not speaking to them because you got so used to living by yourself. It's quite weird. So then, yeah, pretty much just helped me propel my life back out again and stop winding my mum and dad up.
Tyler, how was it helped you?
Yeah, really similar, to be honest. I was living in a shared flat with a bunch of people I didn't really know, and since starting the job, I've been able to move out and sort of have my own place, and that's really helped me sort of get more comfortable. And I feel like I finally have that sort of opportunity to really start living my life. It's not, you're not sitting there trying to find a job or trying to get onto the apprenticeship program. You've done it, and now because it's almost like a weight is off your shoulders, and you can just start enjoying things, I guess.
Yeah, and for me personally, really linking into the social mobility theme of LTSB, I'm handicapped and from a relatively poor household and uneducated. So for me, after spending 2 years post-surgery, not really doing anything, feeling like a bit of a leech in an already relatively poor household, being able to find a job, being able to support my family financially, and then be able to move myself out, live on my own, and finally not feel like I have to count every single pence I have just to make sure I can, afford to eat for the end of the week, has been very liberating and very good for me. It has been life-changing, and I'm very grateful to everything that LTSB has done for me.
Thank you, guys. One last question. What advice would you give to young people, some in the audience, looking for an apprenticeship?
We'll go down the line, so we'll start with you.
As awesome as we can make these apprenticeships sound, my biggest piece of advice is make sure that you find one that is right for you, and not just any apprenticeship that you come across because you like the concept of it. I made the mistake early on of going into a pharmacy apprenticeship that I hated. I took the first opportunity I could to get out of that, and then spend the time to spend a couple of months looking for the right opportunity, which I now have found. But don't be too hasty. Make sure you read everything through. Make sure that the decision you make is definitely the right one for you.
So I would say just really brush up on those soft skills. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to sort of express your enthusiasm to people who maybe you wouldn't normally be used to talking to. And when you figure out what you want to do, just start doing it. Don't wait until you're on the apprenticeship. I was learning to code for maybe 9 or 10 months before I even started applying for apprenticeships. So really just focus on what you want to do, and don't let one rejection, 2 rejections hold you back. You just got to keep going, and you will get something if you want it.
Yeah, just to echo on the back of that, I went to university. I had a really good time in 3 years, some of the best and most stressful times of my life, but I was doing a course that I didn't really want to do because my original offer, I didn't get the right A-levels for it, so that got rejected. So if you really are passionate about uni, go to uni, but if you're not and don't have the grades, either take a year out, resit your A-levels, do something again, or properly look for an apprenticeship, because it's changed my life pretty much. So yeah, just really take time and decide what you want to do.
Thank you very much. Can we give these guys a round of applause, because they've been really, really nice. Thank you very much for listening. So we have a stall down there. If any of you are interested in coming over just to chat to us, find out a bit more. If we didn't answer any questions today, then please do so. We have some flyers that you can take away, and we're happy to just stand and chat for a little bit about anything. So we are LTSB, and we help young people from disadvantaged backgrounds into meaningful careers in the form of apprenticeships. Thank you very much for listening today, guys.